Yeah.
Sit down.
I'm gonna sit down.
Next to James.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of weird.
I have two less. I said 449 or 444,000, which I thought would be another hour or so, and then it was like about 30 seconds. So, okay, I have two more stories.
Yeah.
One about Jeremy. One about James, and they're two of my favorites.
So yesterday, James and I were speculating about what these stories could be, and James told me what he thought his embarrassing story would be. And so I'm very curious to know.
Are you gonna write it down?
No,
Jeremy
I'm curious to know whether there's a more embarrassing story than the one that maybe James doesn't remember.
Who's the derpiest of babies?
All right.
This wasn't even when I was a baby.
Oh, this is so, I love it. Okay, so this story, Jeremy's mom told me this story when we had just started dating. It had been like a year or something, and then this was our bonding experience with her telling me these stories about Jeremy as a kid. Okay.
How girlfriends and mothers bond.
Jeremy's sister was born when he was almost 4. In preparation for this event, we read the pop-up book, A Child is Born, many, many times, so Jeremy became very fluent with the vocabulary and mechanics of conception, gestation, and birth. A couple of years later, there came a need for new Christmas stockings, which I decided to make. I choose 3 or 4 red fabrics with small white patterns, including a small dot and a small paisley, which of course is that kind of little round and then a curly tail shape. When asked which fabric he would like me to use for his stocking, Jeremy said, "The one with the sperms!" I love that story!
Adorbs.
I know! Okay, and then here's the one from James's mom.
Do your worst.
She was so happy to tell me.
You hear that, Bobby? You got nothing.
Okay. When James was very young, he used to sleepwalk on occasion.
This is what you told me too. I won't know.
Nobody's heard it. Shut up. He used to sleepwalk on occasion. Usually, he would just get up and wander around his room or into our room. We also made a habit of taking him pee before he went to bed to make sure he didn't wet the bed, because he was a very heavy sleeper. When he was about 3 or 4, we heard a noise in the kitchen one night. His dad and I went in and found James peeing into the garbage can under the sink. It was on the inside covered with the lid, so he must have thought he was in the bathroom lifting the lid of the toilet. His dad and I were laughing so hard we didn't have the heart to stop him.
Is that the story I told you, Paul?
That's the
story I told you. I also
it's a comforting thought to know that you know the most embarrassing story your parents